Yo, what's good, YouTube? Sam Crow here, aka Scoop, back with the DPL, the Draft Premier League Season 2, and we have our week number 2 match where, I guess, funnily enough, we are actually playing this week. Last week we lost, a little bit unfortunate game, but we were able to pick up a team win, which is really nice. And this week we were not scheduled to play. Unfortunately, one of our players got busy, so we're having to step in. And this game has quite a bit riding on it, actually. So what had happened was in game one, I believe, we had Ben face off against. I'm not sure who the guy was. I don't actually know him personally or anything like that, or know who he is. But Ben was able to pick up a win in our first game, and then I believe John faced in our second game versus Gypsy King, where Gypsy King picked up the win. I guess no big surprise there. And in game three, something crazy happened. Jacob, as always, faced off against TJ. TJ, my teammate, lost to a Suicune set that was prepared for another team that did not have the Gastrodon. So our Gastrodon, despite walling the Suicune, wasn't able to do any damage to the Suicune, and thus wasn't able to beat the Suicune 1v1. So we ended up losing game 3 as well. And I believe in game 4, Carson was able to pull it back with our rain team, Tornadus Therian, Amoonguss, and things like that. Ultimately, I believe the Politoed and the Amoonguss came through in the end, and Carson was able to pick up a win there, tying the series at 2-2, I believe. And then somebody faced off against Silver. Who was it? Was it Elliot or one of our other teammates? I forget who it was. Faced off against Silver and ended up losing to Tornadus in the end game there. A little bit unfortunate there, but I think we were able to bring it back in game 6, thanks to Elliot. And basically Reggie still being way too bulky. Almost threw the game there, but brought it back to a 3-3 series. And it was JJ was supposed to face off against Ricardo, and Ricardo just wasn't able to schedule, and so JJ wasn't able to play, so I subbed in for JJ, scheduled with Ricardo for Sunday. Ricardo was not able to play on Sunday at the times we scheduled, so we got an extension. I believe we played on either the following Monday or Tuesday. And here's going to be our game. So game 7 here, big game for my team. If I win, my team wins. If I lose, my team loses. So big stakes here. And we've got this fun squad here. This is an Ultra Sun Ultra Moon game, as you can see on screen with Alolan, Mon, and the Tapu Koko. I suppose. yeah, I suppose so. Anyways, we've got a Flying MZ, Jolly, Landorus, Therian with Earthquake, Stone Edge, Fly, and Rock Polish. We've got a Life Orb, Alolan Raichu with the Surge Surfer ability, of course. Timid Nature outpaces my opponent's all of his choice Scarfers. We've got Thunderbolt, Grass Knot, Hidden Power, Ground, and Psychic. Hits his entire squad for at least super effective damage. Yes, I said that. And we've got Miami, our boy Heatran here with the Shikaberry, Modest Nature with Lava Plume, Earth Power, Hidden Power, Grass for the I believe it was it Swampert? I forget what that was for. And then we've got a Stealth Rock. And then we've got a Reuniclus here with Psychic, Hidden Power, Ground, Thunder Wave, and Recover. It's our Mega Medicham switch in, and we've got Thunder Wave there for the Heatran switch in, the Drapion switch in, things like that. Mega Lopunny is our cleanup mon. It is a sub power up punch variant with Drain Punch and Frustration, outpacing his Tapu Koko and the rest of his squad comfortably. And then we've got a Rindoberry Seismitoad here with Earthquake, Scald, Knockoff, and Toxic. Very complex AV spread, but yeah, this is JJ's spread, or JJ's entire build, and I do trust him as a teammate. So we're going to hop into the game now, and was going to deciding between what I was going to lead between Seismitoad and Heatran, ultimately decided on the Heatran, as if you let off with the Medicham, we had a fair switch into our Reuniclus here. So we're going to throw off the T-Wave immediately, and then recover on the following turn. So best play by far. So we're just going to stay in here and recover up, except we get froze. So a little bit unfortunate there. And my opponent reveals the double edge on the following turn, able to knock us out there from that range. So we're going to go into Mega Lopunny, bait in his Chestnut so that we can get our Heatran in and get our Stealth Rocks up. Now I debated going for the Earth Power there, but thankfully I did not, because he does reveal the Air Balloon Heatran, so it would have been pointless. And as he goes for rocks, I get in my Seismitoad, which is going to allow me to get off Scald damage, which does half. Exactly half, so that's perfectly fine with me, as he did reveal the Hidden Power Grass there, popping my Rindo Berry. I'm going to switch into Landorus here as he goes for the Hidden Power Grass once again. And now we have the type advantage. So I'm going to go for the Supersonic Sky Strike, expecting either his Chestnut or his Tornadus to come in on the Earthquake there. But he actually goes into his Tapu Koko, which leads me to believe he is not Z Tapu Koko, but Z Tornadus, and this is more than likely a Shuca Berry Tapu Koko. So switch out into my Heatran here, as I double around there a couple turns as he roosted up, and then I got in my Heatran. I go for the Earth Power as my opponent goes into his Tornadus, so really good play there. I don't have a switch in here at this point, so I'm just going to sack off my Seismitoad at this point, and then bring in, I believe, Mega Lopunny. Force this thing out. I can't double at this point. I guess I could have, but I would have lost a lot had he stayed in and attacked. So, yeah, I didn't double there, just fire off at an attack. He reveals Rocky Helmet Chestnut, and he's able to synthesis up here. I go out into my Alolan Raichu, and I'm going to just click Thunderbolt here, expecting the Drapion to come in. Unfortunately, we're not able to 2-hit KO from this range, so we're just going to go for the Thunderbolt again, as our opponent is going to reveal Pursuit, expecting us to switch out here. But, yeah, we didn't switch out. Unfortunately, though, we are in range of 2 Life Orb hits, or now just in range of any Mega Medichamp's Fake Out or Tornadus' anything really. It could cough on me and I would faint at that point. Knocks me out with the knockoff, and I go into my Mega Lopunny, expecting his Chestnut. I double out into my Heatran as my opponent does go out to the Chestnut, and now we're able to fire off a Lava Plume or an Earth Power. So expecting his own Heatran to come in, I do go for the Earth Power there, and the following turn I do go for the Lava Plume, and we are able to catch his Torn upon switching. Doing a nice chunk of damage there. Unfortunately, again, we do not have a switch into this monster, so we go out to our Landorus, double out to our Mega Lopunny, banking on the Tornadus, or the Hurricane Miss, or banking on him to go for U-turn. And unfortunately, he does go for U-turn, which gives him Chestnut. So we're forced back out, and now the only way I can win, well, I have 2 outs at this point. My opponent my opponent having this Mega Medicham around to sack has been very, very unfortunate throughout the match. Had I been able to recover up with my Reuniclus, fire off a couple attacks, this Mega Medicham would have been gone. It's been very, very annoying to have that thing in this match. So here's what I was saying about having a couple outs. So my out is for him to allow the Chestnut to go down, or for me to crit the Chestnut. So here's what you're going to see here. He's going to switch out into his Chestnut as I go for the power-up punch. I make the play as he doesn't need the Tapu Koko anymore, but I expected him to switch out anyway. And at +1 attack there, with him at 75%, had I went for the frustration and got the crit, I could have knocked him out if I got the max roll. But it was a little bit too risky. Excuse my dog again. And I went for the sub. Instead of banking on the crit, I went for the sub, expecting my opponent to maybe make a misplay. However, my opponent makes the right play, and I do get the crit, but it's a turn too late. I didn't make the play when I should have, and now I'm in position to where even if I knock this thing out, his Tapu Koko can revenge kill me. So I just go for the Lava Plume there, and unfortunately he's even able to outpace me here, win a potential speed tie, maybe, and he's able to outpace me there and knock me out. So I don't even get a 3-0. My opponent preserves and is able to get the 4-0 victory there. So a really good game to Ricardo. Unfortunate about the freeze and Reuniclus Mega Medicham being around. It's really what forced some of the, especially my Supersonic Sky Strike. Otherwise, I could have had more comfortability clicking other moves. But it's Pokemon. It happens. So that's going to be it. Let me know what you guys thought about the prep and the plays on both sides of the field. Like I said, this was game 7, so I did lose this one for my squad, but not much you can do when games are like that. So yeah, that's going to be it. Just let me know what you guys thought about the prep and the plays on both sides of the field. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, that's going to be it for us for the high jump kicks for week 2 of the DPL season 2. I think some other people post DPL content too, so if you can find that, go check that out. And if I can find that, I'll drop it in the description as well. But unlikely that I'll look. It's a lot of trouble. But yeah, anyways, I'll catch you guys next time. I'll see you guys next time. Yeah, for sure. Thank you for watching.